Hello, book club. I'm sorry I can't be with you tonight, but I died again. Oops. Um, so, despite my lack of presence tonight, I'm giving you three choices of the next book. Um, I live my life by the rule of three in comedy, writing, and now in book club choosing. So, the first book that intrigued me is called A Book About Heaven, Hell, and the Fate of Every Person Who Ever Lived by Rob Bell. Ta da! Love wins. Um, he's a pastor, he's a young, hip pastor who wrote a book that really takes Christianity and puts it on its head. I think from what I read in the Times Magazine article was he doesn't believe there's a hell and that God condemns us there. So he definitely turns Christian faith on its head. And a lot of churches have spoken out against him, so that's like a plus in my book to begin with. So it intrigued me. I put it on my Amazon list last year and got it for Christmas. It is a New York Times bestseller, and it's 198 pages. My second book is We're with Nobody, a book that explores the dark underbelly politics of opposition politics. I believe it is 208 pages. I think there are two journalists, Alan Huffman and Michael Rejabian, have been working for the past 20 years in opposition politics. I saw them on Jon Stewart a couple months ago and was really intrigued about their insight into how candidates run their campaigns in this idea of opposition politics. So that intrigued me. And then the third is The Botany of Desire, a plant's eye view of the world by Michael Pollan. He's a pretty popular nonfiction writer. But what intrigued me about this book was when I was doing some research about it, it talked about how Pollan presents case studies that mirror four types of human desires. He basically examines four types of plants, and from examining those and researching those, he found links to four different types of human desires. So the apple reflects the desire of sweetness, the tulip beauty, marijuana pleasure, and potato sustenance. So that definitely intrigued me, and if nothing else, I hope to learn how to grow some really good pot. Maybe I'll bring some. So yeah, those are my three books. We've got Faith, which came up last week, and that's kind of a personal topic for me. So I would like to explore that, and it would be great to do that with you guys because I think there would be a lot of different viewpoints and personal experiences to draw off of. And I've actually never heard of a Christian that doesn't believe in hell. I grew up in kind of fire and brimstone, not too much, but a little bit. So I was definitely intrigued by that. The opposition politics, ever since watching Parks and Rec, I have grand desires of doing local politics. It probably won't happen, but the idea of the opposition politics, how people combat each other politically is intriguing to me. And the two guys were really, really eloquent and cool on Jon Stewart. And then The Botany of Desire, just, I don't know, when I left the book club last week, I had this desire of doing food or plants or something, so there we go. I'm looking at the recording, and it's 4 minutes, so I like to talk. Sorry about that. I trust you guys implicitly, to choose a book. So there you go. Those are my three choices. Again, Love Wins, a book about heaven, hell, and the fate of every person who ever lived by Rob Bell. We're with Nobody, the dark underbelly of opposition politics, by Alan Hoffman, Hello Kitty, and somebody else. And then The Botany of Desire by Michael Pollan. So happy voting, happy reading, and I'll see you next week. Cheers!